Yeah, the first magic I saw was actually an accident. It was my dad was just playing around with a deck of cards. He asked me to pick a card, picked it, looked at it, put it back in the pack. He mixed them up and then just randomly he reached in and went, "That was your card." And it was. And he tortured me for like weeks, wouldn't tell me how he did it because it was an accident. It was a complete fluke, 1 in 52 chance. And the fact that it actually worked out really sparked my interest in magic, and I just never stopped learning from there. The first proper magic trick I performed, I didn't even use it correctly. Like, I didn't know how it worked, so I just sort of made up my own trick, but it was like these two little handkerchiefs that you put in the bag, and then I would pull them out and they were tied together. It was so good. I close my show now with it. No, I don't. Well, I think that's it. I mean, it goes back to sort of like the ongoing problem with magic as a whole. It's like it is kind of perceived as lame and cheesy in a sense because it attracts a certain type of person, I guess, right? And so the people that you see that are within the magic community aren't necessarily the people that you're like, oh, I want to hang out with that guy. You're almost like, oh, get that guy away from me, right? So I think it was just a matter of just being normal and just coming across as a normal person that's not this weird, cheesy magician. It's just a normal guy that can do extraordinary things, I guess. And it was just I feel what really connected with Simon and with the audience in general was just the way it was presented and the fact that, normal guy that's doing some pretty cool things. And it's not over the top and it's not schlocky and it's not cheesy, right? Yeah, it was amazing. Getting through to the finals was incredible. It was one of those things like coming to the UK to do the show. I was like, well, I'm Canadian. I doubt, that it's gonna connect the way that it did. Like that was totally, I had no idea it was gonna go down that way. And then when it did, it was super exciting. But it was life changing. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, my first paid booking was for $20, which is like £10, in a McDonald's that wasn't even closed to the public. So people are coming in and out of McDonald's, and there's me in the corner trying to do this like 12-year-old kid's birthday party, and it was, oh man, it was the most horrendous thing ever. I still like look back on that and I'm just like, oh, that was bad. My first job for NMP Live was in Vegas for Cisco, and it was I think like 5,000 people, 4,000 people at Mandalay Bay. It was cool, and it was one of those things where they had a specific request, which was to incorporate their message into the show. They also wanted the CEO to come out with a big bang, so we made him appear right at the top of the show, which was cool. It was nice too because he's a middle-aged guy, no magic experience as is with 90% of the population, 99%. So yeah, I think we had about an hour with him. We trained him how to do this appearance. So I came out, opened the show, and then he appeared right away. And then he did his keynote speech. And then that show in particular, we came back and we broke it up into chunks. So it was the beginning, middle, and end of the conference. So it kept a nice flow to it. We incorporated their message, and we also made the CEO appear, which was a nice start to the conference. Usually the most extravagant events are usually the smallest ones too. It's like the oil guy or whoever who wants to throw this party, and it's usually maybe like 50, 60 people, but they go full on. So those ones are usually overwhelming because there's so much involved in it, but just for such a small amount of people, which is a lot of fun. And then there's also the ones where there's an enormous amount of people. But yeah, I'd say the most extravagant thing might have been this thing that we did in Montenegro for it was like 60 people. Yeah, the Dove Act became, well, my signature bit since Britain's Got Talent, and that was actually like the very first sort of act I started really like working on over a long period of time. Like it was a never-ending process basically for that strive for perfection. And it started off with one dove and then added a second one and then three and then four and then the little parakeets and this and that. And it just became this thing that over time it just grew. And it was funny because at a certain point I had sort of considered not doing it anymore just because I was like, oh, it's live animals, people love live animals. It's not necessarily a representation of my skill as a magician. But I mean, you get so close to your material, you forget how it's perceived, right? So yeah, and then I went and did Britain's Got Talent and it just sort of became like the act. So it's not going anywhere. creating a new bit can stem from anywhere basically. Like sometimes, a piece of music will come on the radio or something. I'll be, oh, this will be cool, and I'll save it. Or sometimes a piece of music comes on and you just come up with something cool. Or sometimes you get an idea and you write it down, and then you come back to it later. Or you can't really force creativity, which can be the tricky part in this business. Is that it's like, say you have a show in 3 months from now and they want a particular illusion where you have to do this. At a certain point you do have to force that if it's not coming to you, right? So the best ideas, I feel like, stem from just random thoughts that just happen, and then it becomes this organic sort of growth, or you sort of nurture that idea. But it's not really something you want to force, but I mean sometimes you have to, especially when you're working lots and you have to come up with effects and ideas and specific things. But it's inspiration can come from anywhere basically, whether it's pop culture or TV or radio or a piece of music or an idea somebody said. It's a number of things, but anytime it comes, it's a good thing, right? Like, I feel personally, any sort of entertainment, I don't know, maybe I'm obviously biased, but any sort of entertainment, it's like, you love to watch dance because there's a magic quality to it, right? It looks cool, and you watch it, you're like, I can't do that. These people have trained their whole lives to do that. This is amazing. There's a magical type of quality to it, which I love. It's fantastic, and that's part of the reason why I love to watch magic and illusion, is because you don't see that every day. There's no explaining it. And so when you're at an event that, let's face it, maybe these people go to these events, have probably been to 10 of them this year, right? And you get the comedian and the singer, and it's great. And, but to do something different, I feel, is to do something people maybe have never seen before. And, most people haven't necessarily seen good quality magic and illusions presented in a way that's really fun and entertaining and connects to the crowd and gets them into it. So I think there's something really special about seeing the impossible and seeing something you can't explain in a venue that all of these people are used to. It creates an overall experience, I think, that's really special, that maybe other art forms can't necessarily do in this type of environment. Like a lot of these corporate shows are hotel ballrooms, banquet rooms, and to come into that environment and show these people something that literally defies any sort of explanation is a powerful thing.